Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sarah's Sparkling Nail Studio. I have never been a stylist, and I probably never will be, but I've just been an addict for, I don't know, it's a while, like 5 or 6 years. And so I've just played with them a lot, and so started a YouTube channel. And thanks for hanging out with me while I do my mani, keeping me company. Tonight I'm doing a mani inspired by my favorite flavor of ice cream, which is called Chocolate Cookie Crumble, and it's not a mainstream one. It's made by Kroger's store brand, and it's not even their private selection like Fancy or one. It's just the Kroger. I think it's just Kroger store brand. Anyway, it's chocolate ice cream with Oreo mixed into it, and it's super good. So, not as fun, if my favorite flavor was some kind of like strawberry or fun, bright color for summer, but oh man, why did I toss my I like to use the backing to do the anchor method. There we go. Pulled it out of my little, I have a little, this is, I think, more for what's called like with the Cricut, so you can put your little scraps in there. But it works great as a trash can for all the small little pieces from doing a mani. And I actually, if I wasn't filming for YouTube, I think I've really enjoyed this mat because you can stick the little clingy plastic strips to it. Okay, cool. And that's not long enough to use on my other pinky. Anyway, you can stick the little cling pieces to this mat, and I honestly found that easier to just make a little trash pile on this and then dump the whole thing in the trash. But the trash can's nice, so you guys aren't looking at as much garbage. I'm still not super neat and tidy with things when I get done. There's a lot of bits. Let's see. Okay, and I think yes, this was I did pull two just in case my nails, if they're a little bit long, I can't do one strip for both sides. So, and this set I'm using here is Bronze Age, which I'm not a big into the browns and stuff, but this one when I put it on, it's a good one. It's just pretty, and I picked it because so my last mani I did petal prism, right? Yeah, petal prism over glazed over, and I was amazed at so this is how it comes in the package, and it just the gold backing, it just I don't know, it doesn't pop and you don't pick up as much of that rainbow in the petal flowers, but when you put it over at least oh my gosh, look at that over black. I haven't seen it over that yet. But when you put it over a different color, like those colors really just popped and I loved it, but I wanted to see what it looked like over black. So, I'm doing a little bit cheaty. So it's inspired after my favorite flavor of ice cream, but I'm throwing in some petal prism experimentation over dark because I want to see how that looks. So that is not really related to the ice cream, but and so Bronze Age has a little bit more of like a pinky flash, and I don't love brown and black together. So I thought this was a little more than doing like a standard brown. So, and then this tool, my orange stick or wooden cuticle pusher. So the other end I have on, I think I pulled too much off, but it's got texture, and I've kind of fallen in love with this. Sometimes I forget to use it, but it just helps grip. Of course, it's really wanting to hang on to my skin tonight. Usually it helps just clean up those edges, and I totally pulled way too much. So I've got a gap there. Not a fan of that. Mm, I should have used my little nippers or something. See, even still, that like doesn't want to come off. Now, do I ignore that or do I try? I think I'm gonna try to patch it. I do this on every mani. End up patching it. And by the time you do, especially I'm gonna do overlay. So if I had no holding black, that would have been the perfect, because it looks like Oreo cookies, like you dipped your fingers in Oreo cookies. If you don't remember which one that is, it's a mostly predominantly black glitter, clear, and then with glitter dip, black glitter. And it looks like you kind of had your fingers in the Oreo cookie jar. So it would have been perfect, but I didn't want to go buy something just for that. And also I was looking through my stash to find something that kind of fit. And this honestly is better because if you've ever had the ice cream, it's got a swirl through it, and I don't know how much this is gonna show up with the black or with the Bronze Age over the brown. Oh, I think it is gonna show up enough. Keep losing my tools. There we go. Yeah, I think that works because it's not like super in the ice cream. I don't think it's super overwhelming generally. Although if you are scooping it and you see a big streak of the Oreo, that is the scoop I want in my bowl with all the Oreo. It's so good. So yeah, if you have Kroger near you, go and get some. And it's nice because it's like the cheap ice cream. They have it on sale. It might have been last week. They had it on sale for $1.99 for a, what is that, a quart, whatever the smaller, like cardboard monthly super flat. And then this overlay I'm doing here is Topsy-Turvy. And this was definitely a sub box set, but I don't remember the name of the sub box. It was one of those, I think, that had a lot of cut strips in it. I don't remember. It's one that was probably from like the first 12 months of the sub boxes. This one I had for a bit. The last time I used it, so I was challenged to do a mani with every single nail different, which I am someone who likes symmetrical manis. I like my hands to match each other. And so I ended up doing, it was pretty in style, and I still think it's great, but the ombre where you start with like a darker color and do the same kind of shade and get lighter. So you'll do like darker and then slightly lighter, all the way to the lightest on your thumb, or vice versa. So I did 10 different pink shades, and then to give it cohesiveness, I put this overlay over top of it. And I actually really liked it. It turned out good. So, and yeah, I like that kind of ombre look. It's fun. Okay, so now let's experiment with our petal prism here. So I pre-cut two of the flowers, and then I need to cut this. Trying to remember. I'm all thrown off because this is a, again, back when they cut a lot of sets in the sub box. This one is called Dark Side, and it's one that came so you can do an easy V-tip, and I did not like them cutting the sets. If I want my strips whole because I already struggle enough. My nails are big, my nail beds are big, so I think that's what it is. It's just rounding it a little bit more because this is meant to be like a thumb strip. Anyway, I already struggle enough, and when I'm cutting my strips, mostly it's to be creative, but also my creativity stemmed from needing the strips to fit my larger nail beds. So I don't like when they cut it because I already do enough of that anyway, and I'd rather just have full sets. This one doesn't matter a ton because my largest nail beds that take these big strips, they are also the longest. So I'm never gonna fit one strip on both hands. My thumbs, if I cut them down to like where it hurts, I can fit one strip on both sides, but even still, there's like a little bit of a gap, and I don't like to do it. Ooh, that's pretty, and that reminds me a lot of Midnight in Manhattan. It's very similar. This was just my next black up to use. I think I'm finished a set of Midnight in Manhattan, and then I have a new one to open next, but so this was kind of like the next one to use. Midnight in Manhattan always reminds me of electrical tape, and this one does too. It's got kind of that same consistency. And I think they're very similar. This one might be slightly, I don't know. No, it's maybe slightly grayer. It almost looks like it has like some, I don't know. I'd have to compare them next to each other. I feel like they're slightly different, but not enough for me to care. A black is a black. So They both got the same vibe. Alright, see there, it worked a little better on that one, see it kinda just grips. It's also possible I need to get a fresh one of these. That could also be what the problem is, because I have one that I won from Stacy's Bingo, which if you don't know Stacy, she's another YouTuber, and she has the most fun group on Facebook and probably in the whole world too. That's for if you're a nail addict. She just has fun games and live nails and just it's a place where if you're my friends, even if they like Color Street, they don't wanna hear about as much as I wanna talk about Color Street, so maybe I should have pre-pilled that. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So anchor method is just whoops, doing it that is a little sheer. You can kinda see it there. Using that to kinda give your fingers a place to hold, and I like it because I don't get the oils from my skin all over my strip, so it keeps it a little stickier, especially if this one's sticking great, but if you ever have a set that's not, a little dry, it's nice to, get all the stick that you can and not mess with any of that on your oils. And then smoothing it down, I always go down the middle and then kinda work my way up the sides, and it's not always a perfect art, but it works pretty good. And this tool is a rubber cuticle pusher, and when I discovered that, that made all the difference. 'Cause my manis were pretty bumpy before that, but you can't a lot of people do great just with their doing their fingers, and I like this tool. It helped me a lot. There's strip sticking to my hand. I'll try not to clean up too much here just for the sake of time. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to do a white acrylic paint pen to paint on the back of the strip because it is a bit sheer. Since I just recently used it, it's fresh in my mind. You can kind of see it. I don't know. It is a bit sheer. And I think the black, I kind of want to see if I can see what it looks like though without actually sticking it. I think doing it, I think you would see it, but I think doing it with the paint pen would just really make it pop. Oh, and the trick I forgot to do is you leave the plastic on and it gives you a nice base to color this with, but we're doing it without this time because I forgot. And you can do this with any colored overlays because if you put it over dark, it a lot of times will wash out. And so, okay, and I didn't think about where I was gonna stick this one, probably just right there. There we go. We'll have to see. I might. This was pretty magical over glazed over because I don't know, it just had like that same, and it almost looked like this color was like fading into like it would with real watercolors. And again, I'm partial to the lighter colors, I would say, so we'll see. You never really know until you like wear them for about a day, see them in the sun in different lights. And sometimes you just really fall in love. Sometimes you put it on and you're like, I love it right away. But let's get this here to smooth it. Maybe we'll do one with the white here. And then for this nail, maybe we'll do without the white so we can compare. And this strip is going to be a little bit small for this middle finger. And I probably should have I just opened this package, so I could have used the thumb, but I just would like to save it for my thumb. So we're gonna attempt to do okay there. Maybe stretch it slightly. It might just be okay. I really should just like not care. about the edges of my nails because I don't think anyone else like, if you look at someone with okay, I might get wrinkles in this one. If you look at someone with a painted manicure, sometimes they do have a gap on the edge, and it's totally fine. No one notices or cares, and they still look amazing. See how good I can do on it. I think that actually did decent. I don't know if it did stretch at all or that seemed to fit my nail pretty good, actually. This is good. I think I did get some wrinkles in there, but going with it. Oop, okay. Oops. Now I'm debating, do I stick there's a little bit of wrinkles there, do I stick this over top? I think I'm gonna go for it. So I was innocently scrolling not scrolling, checking my email the other day, and email advertising Hadestown, which if you've been watching me for a bit, I saw a couple months ago, our high school here did it and just randomly, I'd never seen it. I was like, sure, let's go see it and got totally hooked. Completely hooked with this musical. So when I saw the ad and it's actually opened like 2 days after I saw that email. Okay, so oh, it actually shows up pretty good over that. It's hard to tell until I get into the sun. Anyway, so I was like, I have to see this. I know it's like about to open and I have kids and like what and the other thing so it's a teen edition. I don't know if that the adult version of the show is out. It's still a newerish musical. So it's teen edition at one of the community theaters nearby and the shows are at 3 p.m. And I was like, "Oh, that makes it even trickier because otherwise, I'd go in the evening with my husband, my sister could probably watch kids and but my sister, so she saw it with me at the high school and she's hooked too. And so we were both highly motivated. And so what we ended up doing, she went yesterday and she took her oldest child, he's 7, and he got 15 minutes into it and he's like, I'm bored. So they went and I watched her. She has 2 younger kids. And then I'm gonna go on Monday and take my oldest, who is also 7, almost 8. And okay, see there, I got a gap. It's probably too late to try and stretch it. Anyway, but she's been one, she likes theater a little more, so we'll see. Hopefully she'll be better at it. And I've been wanting to take her to more shows, so this is good. And we got tickets, happened to be on the front row, so that's always good for kids because they feel like they're more into the action. But then you do run into them maybe not being able to see over the stage. But I guess that, is kind of the same thing no matter where you sit because then you're trying to see over people's heads, so and I think they have my sister said they have booster seats, so maybe we'll snag one of those. Yeah, she's my child. So my husband and I met doing theater, and we have only done 1 production since being married. Okay, now I gotta cut these out because I didn't cut them for this hand, which is good because you can watch me go from this strip to kind of almost like a nail decal. Anyway, we've only done 1 show since we've been married, and it was nuts because we auditioned and then we got cast, went to the first rehearsal, and the director's like and we took our daughter. She was like 18 months, the one who's 7 now. And she was like, "You need childcare. You can't bring her to rehearsal." And we made that work. We found a neighbor girl to babysit. And then my sister, the one that I was just talking about, who went to, or sorry, who went to Hadestown with me. I can't, if I'm focusing, it's harder to talk. She came down and actually like lived with us for 3 weeks and got us through the last because when you get down to the last rehearsals, you're like always there and the shows. So she came down and just kind of was our nanny and watched her. And so we were still able to do it. But this little girl babysitter our last dress rehearsal was kind of like a free show preview, but they brought her with them while she was babysitting, and the run was horribly long, which it can be when you're down to your last rehearsal, as you're fine tuning, you're, maybe stopping and fixing things. And so it was long. And she sat and watched the whole thing. She was one, I think, 18 months. So she's definitely, things have changed. We found out she needed glasses when she was 3. So I guess that would have been like a year and a half after that. And she's had some things that she's, grown a lot on. So oh, I forgot to leave the plastic again. Just adds stability if you do that when you color it. Anyway, so she's more like a normal. She was kind of, because she couldn't see, she would never get into cabinets. Made her a pretty easy baby, but she had some catching up to do because of that. Anyway, so she's been one. I've taken her to a few shows, and some of the more recent ones she's been more bored. It's been a while though, so anyway, I'm excited to see it. It's not a terribly long show. Runtime's like 2 hours for Hadestown. Anyway, I'm hooked on it. If you get a chance to see it, it's just good. I love it. It's the it's a retelling with like a Great Depression era theme to it of the tale, the Greek mythology tale of Eurydice and Orpheus and Hades and Persephone. And the music's just, man, it gets in your head when I'm hooked on it. So I'm super excited. And as an adult, like as a kid, you get excited for so many things. And then as an adult, I don't know, like I enjoy doing things, but it's not like this, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to do whatever. And once I bought those tickets, I was like, I'm so excited for this. So it's fun to be like very excited. I get pretty excited about sub boxes. Feels kind of like a kid on Christmas. The novelty's kind of worn off, but when they first started it, oh my gosh, I was just watching my mailbox. When is it gonna come? Because it's like one of my favorite things, Color Street, and it's a surprise, and like that's just good. It's good stuff. So I'm kind of mad at myself. Yesterday, my son, so we got a new projector set up downstairs, and it's the first day that I like have known how to use it. I finally was like, "Hey, husband, show me how does this work?" And it's not even hard. Like, you turn everything on and it works pretty much. He has it set up good. Anyway, so the kids were watching it, and my 5-year-old comes and he's like, "I can't get the remote. It's under the couch." And he was very persistent. So I run downstairs, and this couch is pretty heavy. It's a new, I mean, it's secondhand, but new to us. And it reclines. And so it's pretty heavy. And I was like tipping this couch up. And I was assuming my son knew how to help, but we were not having success. So it took like 3 tries. I finally gave him some instructions like lift here, tilt this up this way. And we did it. And we finally get it tipped up, and I'm like, "The remote's not even here, where is it?" And I look and I see it sitting in front of the couch, just in the middle of the floor, and then I go to stand up, and I did something to my back, and it's that moment of, "Can I rewind, like, a minute or 2?" You know, those moments in life where you're just like, "Oh, man, can I just rewind?" And it's been, I thought maybe it would mellow out, but it's been bad, and I worked today, and I'm like, I can't stand completely straight up, and so I'm just, like, walking like a 90-year-old lady, doing stuff slow. Oh my gosh. And it's not like, I don't know if it's pain, it's more just like muscle spasming. It's just like tight, my low back and back injuries, they freak me out because that's bad. Juju, your back has to hold so much. and I'm generally so careful, and I didn't even think about it, and it's just stupid, I'm mad. And so I've been got ice, and then I alternate with heat, and we're just gonna see how it goes over the weekend, and I'm bugged. And that's as an adult, you it's kinda just like, what's next? I've been sick so much, and so many just, like, crazy things happened in my family too, like, extended family, just over, like, the winter. It was just nuts, and it's kinda just like, "Okay, things are pretty good right now. Okay, what's next?" And you can't even imagine, like, I didn't even imagine that it would ever be a back injury, so I don't know, hopefully it mellows out. Hopefully I didn't ruin my life with that. But yeah, once you're an adult, you're very like, you know, nothing exciting and just calm and boring is good. I don't need excitement. So, so even being excited about the show, it would be fine if I was just like, yeah, I get to go. Not be excited. It'd be fine. It is nice to be excited about something, but I'm also fine with, just things cruising along. We're having kind of a late night here. I don't usually stay up this late, but we're headed up to some friends of ours' family's cabin tomorrow. So my husband's staying up late doing some meal prepping because they're gonna do half of the meals and we're gonna do half of the meals, the friends that we're going with. And so he's prepping stuff to go and but we're not leaving super early tomorrow. So that's good. And these friends of ours I've been friends with my one friend since we were kids. She lived on the other side of our block and she was over visiting someone next door and we were out on our trampoline. I was like, I guess I probably would have been like 9 or 10. And I convinced, oh no, did I stick that? Oh, I stuck it on the non shiny side, so that's not going to come off. Let's get a fresh. And these are the smaller strips, but it's going to be fine because it's an overlay. Anyway, I convinced my sister to invite her to come over and jump on the trampoline with her, and we've been friends since. We've both lived in different states. We've been pen pals, been through lots of stuff, and we probably only get together, see each other maybe once or twice a year, maybe like our kids' birthdays or whatnot. But once you've been friends with someone that long, it's just good. I heard once that once you've been friends with someone for 7 years, it's like you're kind of like friends forever. So think of like a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe they like moved out of state, but you've been friends with them. You were friends with them for like 7 years before they moved. If you visited their city, you would probably hit them up even if you hadn't talked in a long time. I don't know. Maybe it's not totally true, but I feel like it is. Once I have a friend, because I have friends that I haven't seen in forever, but I know that if I went to their where they lived, I would be like, "Hey, I'm visiting. Let's get together." And I may not even know like who all their kids are or who their spouse is or what they're doing for work or anything, and just we get together. It doesn't matter because you've known each other long enough. Anyway, but yeah, super awesome. And then her husband, she met him in high school, I think. So I've known him forever, and we've been friends just so long that, I know all of her family and tons of her cousins, and you've just been to a lot of things together. And then she's got kids that are similar ages to mine, and so it's just gonna be fun. His family had his grandparents, I think, left this cabin in like a trust. I don't know, but it's set up like anyone can in the family can book it, and it's nice. It's yeah. It's not like a rustic cabin. It's got bedrooms and beds and a kitchen and showers and bathrooms, and so it's just going up to be in nature and but still having nice comforts, and we plan to just hang out and talk and play lots of board games. We love board games, and they love board games. they have a duffel bag that they have for traveling with their board games, so and the kids should have a blast too. So, yeah, we decided it was time to catch up, and so they reserved the cabin and pretty good times. Getting about through with this Manny. I like Bronze Age, and this is one that really will color shift when you get out in different lighting and sunshine. As soon as I stopped talking, I had a Hadestown song jump into my head. After the show, I had one song, "Wait for Me," if you're familiar with the musical, just bad in my head, and talking to my husband, I'm like, "Does your brain just play music as soon as you're not thinking about anything? Because mine does." And then I was like, "Do you wanna hear what's playing in my head?" And he's like, "Nope, nope, I don't," because he already knows, he's listened to it over and over, and I usually will get just like I only know a few lyrics, and so I'll have that portion stuck in my head, and I'll just sing it on repeat. He tolerates it pretty well, my siblings. That I was They were very irritated with me growing up for that, because I would just sing the same, like, 2 stanzas of a song. And, things are better now because I can if I don't know all the lyrics, I can say, "Alexa, play this song," and then I can start to learn more of the lyrics. But before the internet days, I mean, there was internet, but it wasn't, like, fast, or you had to, like, dial up to I don't know. So I drove them crazy. Alright, there's the last, and I'll clean these up after, and I'll add a top coat. I don't know if I'll add glitter. I don't know, I kinda like this just, like, glossy black like that, so we'll see. And, yeah, but definitely I'll do a gel top coat and clean up these edges where it's sticking out, and probably buy me some more of these because I think it's getting kinda worn out, but there is the finished chocolate cookie crumble inspired nails with a touch of rainbow flowers because I wanted to. So, thanks for tuning in and watching with me.